Ever pondered what are the most common pitfalls in marriages that lead to dissatisfaction or even separation? Welcome to a candid discussion on an ubiquitous yet often overlooked subject, the common mistakes in marriages. The year is 2024, and while many aspects of society have evolved, the dynamics of relationships and marriages continue to be a complex dance of emotions, expectations, and interactions. In the course of this conversation, we'll be shedding light on the factors that often lead to cracks in the foundation of a marriage. The aim isn't to point fingers or assign blame, but to create an awareness that can help couples navigate these choppy waters with a bit more ease. We're all familiar with the saying, "A stitch in time saves nine." This old adage holds true for relationships as well. The ability to recognize signs of potential issues and address them proactively can often be the difference between a relationship that thrives and one that merely survives. Marriage, in its essence, is a partnership built on mutual respect, understanding, and love. However, like any other partnership, it requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to adapt and grow. Sometimes, amidst the hustle and bustle of life, we tend to overlook these fundamental truths. The journey of marriage is a beautiful one, filled with moments of joy, companionship, and growth. However, it's also interspersed with challenges, disagreements, and disappointments. Recognizing these as part and parcel of the journey and not as roadblocks can help in fostering a healthier relationship. In the next 50 minutes, we'll be discussing the most common mistakes that couples make, often unwittingly, that can lead to dissatisfaction or even separation. We'll be drawing from real-life case studies to give you a better understanding of these issues and how they can be addressed. Is it going to be an easy conversation? Probably not. But it's a conversation worth having for the sake of happier, healthier relationships. So, buckle up and get ready for an insightful journey into the world of marriages, mistakes, and how to avoid them. Stay tuned as we delve into real-life case studies that highlight these common mistakes. First on our list is the trap of unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations, my friends, are like those hidden icebergs that can sink the unsinkable Titanic of even the most robust marriages. We all bring expectations into our relationships, and that's perfectly normal. It's a part and parcel of being human. However, the problem arises when these expectations become unrealistic, creating a chasm between what we desire and what reality offers. Think of unrealistic expectations as a mirage in a desert. A thirsty traveler sees a shimmering pool of water in the distance and rushes towards it, only to find more sand. The disappointment, the frustration, it's palpable, isn't it? That's exactly what unrealistic expectations do in a marriage. They create a mirage of contentment and happiness, only to leave behind a trail of dissatisfaction and friction when reality fails to meet the fantasy. Now let's delve into a real-life case study to illustrate this point, shall we? Let's consider the story of Jane and John. They're an imaginary couple, but their story echoes the reality of many marriages worldwide. Jane and John were high school sweethearts. They tied the knot right after graduating from university, fueled by young love and a shared dream of a perfect life together. Jane, a romantic at heart, expected her marriage to be like a fairy tale, filled with grand gestures of love, endless romance, and a husband who'd always know what she's thinking. John, on the other hand, had a more pragmatic approach. He expected a peaceful life with minimal disagreements, a partner who'd always agree with his decisions, and a marriage that would function almost effortlessly. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, reality had other plans. Jane soon realized that grand gestures and endless romance are not sustainable every day. She felt a growing dissatisfaction when John couldn't understand her unspoken thoughts. John, meanwhile, found himself in a whirlpool of disagreements and negotiations. His expectation of a peaceful, agreement-filled life seemed far-fetched. The marriage, which they had thought would be a smooth sail, turned into a tumultuous journey. So, what went wrong? They fell into the trap of unrealistic expectations. Jane's expectation of a fairy tale romance and John's belief in a conflict-free life were both far from reality. These expectations created a tension that started to pull their relationship apart. They felt disappointed, not because their partner was doing something wrong, but because reality was not aligning with their unrealistic expectations. The key here is not to eliminate all expectations, but to manage them. It's crucial to understand that marriage is a partnership between two individuals, each with their unique thoughts, emotions, and perspectives. Expecting a partner to always understand your unspoken thoughts or to agree with all your decisions is not just unrealistic, it's unfair. Similarly, expecting every day to be a grand romantic spectacle is like expecting a rainbow without a hint of rain. To manage expectations, communication is vital. It's important to express your needs, desires, and hopes to your partner. It's equally important to listen to theirs. This way, both partners can develop a realistic understanding of what to expect from the marriage and from each other. Another crucial aspect is understanding that perfection is a myth. No one is perfect, and neither is any marriage. There will be disagreements, misunderstandings, and rough patches. But these are not signs of a failing marriage. They're signs of two individuals navigating life together, learning, growing, and evolving in the process. So how did Jane and John overcome their challenge? They recognized their unrealistic expectations and worked on them. They started communicating their needs and expectations more openly. They learned to accept each other's imperfections and to appreciate the reality of their marriage, with all its ups and downs. They understood that their marriage might not be a fairy tale or a conflict-free paradise, but it was their unique journey together, filled with love, understanding, and mutual respect. Remember, understanding and managing expectations is key to a successful marriage. It's like a navigation system for your journey together, guiding you towards a more fulfilling, satisfying, and realistic marital life. After all, a marriage thrives not on perfection, but on understanding, acceptance, and love. And these, my friends, are the true markers of a successful marriage. Next up, we explore the silent killer of relationships, lack of communication. Delving into this topic, we start by understanding that communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. It's the bridge that connects two hearts, two minds, two souls. But what happens when this bridge starts to crumble? When words become scarce, when silence becomes deafening? That's when you find yourself in the dangerous territory of a lack of communication. Imagine you're at sea, and your relationship is the ship. Communication is the compass guiding you through the stormy waters. Without it, you're lost, directionless, at the mercy of the tumultuous sea. The ship can capsize at any moment, sinking into the depths of misunderstanding and conflict. Let's consider a real-life case study to illustrate this point. Imagine a couple, let's call them Jack and Jill. They've been together for a decade, but recently their relationship has hit a rough patch. They've stopped talking about their feelings, their thoughts, their dreams. Instead, they're filled with assumptions, misconceptions, and silent resentment. Jack feels that Jill doesn't appreciate him anymore. He works hard, spends long hours at the office, and he does it all for her, for their future. But Jill, she seems distant, uninterested. On the other hand, Jill feels that Jack is neglecting her. He's always at work, always busy. She misses the times when they used to talk about everything under the sun, when they used to dream together. She feels lonely even when Jack is right next to her. Now let us dive into the issue of neglecting emotional needs. In every relationship, emotional needs are just as important as physical ones. They are the invisible bonds that connect us, the silent language that speaks volumes about how we feel about each other. When these needs are neglected, it can make a spouse feel unloved, unappreciated, and isolated. Let's take a real-life case study to illustrate this point. Meet Jane and John, a couple who've been married for over a decade. Jane is a high-powered executive, always on the move, always chasing the next big deal. John is a writer, working from home, cherishing the quiet moments. Now, their professions are not the problem. The issue arises from Jane's constant preoccupation with work, leading her to neglect John's emotional needs. John, being a writer, is naturally more sensitive and introspective. He craves emotional connection, intimate conversations, and quality time with Jane. But Jane, engrossed in her work, often misses out on these moments, leaving John feeling unloved and ignored. This constant neglect of his emotional needs has created a rift in their relationship, a chasm that keeps growing with each passing day. Now you might think, but Jane is just busy. She doesn't mean to neglect John, and you'd be right. Jane doesn't intentionally ignore John's needs. But the reality is, intentions don't matter when the result is the same. Whether it's intentional or not, neglecting your spouse's emotional needs can cause significant damage to your relationship. In this case, John starts to feel unappreciated. he begins to question his worth in Jane's eyes. He wonders if he's just an accessory in her life rather than a partner. This feeling of being unloved and unappreciated can lead to resentment, which can further escalate to arguments, misunderstandings, and eventually a breakdown of the relationship. But let's rewind a bit. Could this situation have been avoided? Absolutely. If Jane had taken the time to understand John's emotional needs, if she had made an effort to spend quality time with him, to engage in deep, meaningful conversations, they wouldn't be in this predicament. It's essential to remember that every person has different emotional needs. Some need constant reassurance, while others need their space. Some need words of affirmation, while others need acts of service. The key is to understand your spouse's emotional needs and make an effort to fulfill them. This doesn't mean you have to drop everything and focus solely on your spouse. It means taking a few moments each day to connect with them on an emotional level. It means acknowledging their feelings, validating their emotions, and showing them that they are loved and appreciated. This could be as simple as sending a text during the day to check in on them, planning a surprise date night, or just sitting with them and listening to their day without distractions. These small gestures can make a significant difference in fulfilling your spouse's emotional needs and maintaining a healthy, happy relationship. So, what can we learn from Jane and John's story? It's that neglecting emotional needs, whether intentional or not, can lead to feelings of being unloved and unappreciated. It can create a rift in your relationship, leading to resentment, arguments, and a potential breakdown of the relationship. But it's also a reminder that it's never too late to start paying attention to your spouse's emotional needs. It's never too late to show them that they are loved, to validate their feelings, and to make them feel appreciated. It's these small acts of love and attention that can bridge the gap, heal the wounds, and bring you closer together. Remember, attending to your spouse's emotional needs is crucial in maintaining a happy marriage. Moving on, we touch on a much contentious issue: financial disagreements. This is a topic that has the potential to create deep rifts within relationships and even lead to their untimely demise. Money matters can be a source of constant stress and fights, especially when partners have different spending habits or financial goals. Let's paint a picture. Imagine a couple, we'll call them Jane and John. Jane is a thrifty spender. She believes in saving for the future and making every penny count. She's always on the lookout for sales and discounts, and she doesn't believe in spending money on things she considers frivolous or unnecessary. On the other hand, John is a big spender. He believes in living in the moment and enjoys splurging on the finer things in life. He's the kind to buy the latest gadgets, dine at fancy restaurants, and he doesn't mind going over budget for a bit of fun or luxury. Now, neither of these approaches is inherently wrong. Jane's thriftiness ensures financial security, while John's spending habits make life enjoyable. The problem arises when their financial habits clash and they fail to reach a common understanding or compromise. For instance, Jane might get upset when John splurges on an expensive gadget, seeing it as a waste of money that could have been saved or invested. John, in turn, might feel frustrated when Jane refuses to go out for a nice dinner or vacation, feeling like she's depriving them of joy and experiences. These disagreements can lead to constant fights, resentment, and even distrust, if not properly managed. They start to question each other's values and priorities, and this lack of understanding can seep into other areas of their relationship. What's worse, these financial disagreements often go deeper than just the surface-level issues. They can be a manifestation of deeper, underlying issues, such as lack of trust, control issues, or differing life goals and values. For instance, if Jane's thriftiness stems from a fear of financial insecurity due to past experiences, she might see John's spending habits as reckless and irresponsible. She might worry that he doesn't value their future as much as she does, leading to feelings of insecurity and anxiety. On the other hand, if John's spending habits come from a place of wanting to enjoy life to the fullest, he might feel that Jane's thriftiness is holding them back from truly living. He might feel controlled or stifled, leading to feelings of resentment and frustration. The key to resolving these issues lies in open and honest communication. Jane and John need to sit down and have a frank discussion about their financial habits, their reasons behind these habits, and their financial goals. They need to understand where the other person is coming from and find a middle ground that satisfies both their needs. They might decide to have separate accounts for their personal expenses and a joint account for shared expenses and savings. They might set a budget for discretionary spending, allowing John to splurge within a limit while ensuring Jane's need for financial security is met. They could also decide to seek the help of a financial advisor to help them navigate their financial disagreements. But remember, these solutions will only work if both parties are willing to understand and respect the other's financial habits and beliefs. It's not about who's right or who's wrong, but about finding a compromise that works for both. So it's important to have open and honest discussions about finances. Despite the discomfort it may initially bring, laying your financial cards on the table and working through the issues together can strengthen your relationship and help you build a solid financial future together. It's about understanding, compromise, and working together to achieve shared financial goals. And always remember, it's not just about the money, it's about the values, goals, and dreams that money can represent. Next, we discuss the importance of spending quality time together. The topic on the table is something that seems simple enough but is often overlooked in the whirlwind of our daily lives. It's about the art of spending quality time together. Quality time is not just about being physically present in the same room. It's about being emotionally present and invested in each other's experiences. It's about sharing, learning, and growing together. It's about creating memories that will last a lifetime. When we talk about quality time, we're talking about those moments where you're fully engaged with your partner, where you're not just there, but you're there for them. Now let's take a look at a real-life case study to illustrate the importance of spending quality time in a marriage. Meet John and Jane, a couple who have been married for 10 years. They have a comfortable life with successful careers, 2 beautiful children, and a lovely home. From the outside, they seem to have it all. However, behind closed doors, things are not as rosy as they appear. John and Jane are constantly busy. Between their demanding jobs, raising their children, and maintaining their home, they barely have any time for each other. Their conversations have become transactional, focused only on logistics and schedules. They spend more time on their phones or laptops than they do with each other. They're physically present, but emotionally, they're worlds apart. This lack of quality time has created a distance between them. They're more like roommates than a married couple. They've forgotten how to enjoy each other's company. They've lost the ability to connect on a deeper level. This growing disconnect has made them feel lonely, even when they're together. They miss the closeness they once had, the spark that made their relationship special. What John and Jane are experiencing is not uncommon. Many couples go through this phase, especially when they're juggling multiple roles and responsibilities. But ignoring this issue can lead to feelings of resentment, dissatisfaction, and unhappiness. The solution? Spending quality time together. Quality time doesn't have to be extravagant or time-consuming. It could be as simple as having a cup of coffee together in the morning, going for a walk in the evening, or having a date night once a week. It could be about doing things you both enjoy, like cooking a meal together, watching a movie, or playing a game. It's about taking time out of your busy schedules to focus on each other. Quality time allows you to reconnect with your partner. It gives you the opportunity to understand their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It helps you to appreciate their strengths, accept their weaknesses, and celebrate their achievements. Quality time also opens up channels of communication. It encourages you to express your love, gratitude, and concerns. It allows you to discuss your dreams, fears, and aspirations. Quality time strengthens your bond. It brings you closer, physically and emotionally. It enhances your intimacy, passion, and commitment. It provides you with a sense of security, comfort, and happiness. In essence, quality time is the glue that holds a marriage together. It's the key to a fulfilling, satisfying, and lasting relationship. It's the secret to a happy marriage. So, take a leaf out of John and Jane's book. Make time for each other. Be present, be engaged, be there for each other. Make every moment count. Remember, quality time is the glue that holds a marriage together. As we wrap up, let's revisit the common mistakes we've discussed today. Our journey began with the most common pitfall: unrealistic expectations. A marriage isn't a fairy tale, and expecting it to be one can lead to disappointment and strain. It's crucial to remember that your partner is a human, not a character in a storybook. They have their strengths and weaknesses, just like you. Understanding and accepting each other's flaws is key to a healthy relationship. We then delved into the importance of communication. Silence may be golden in some scenarios, but not in a marriage. Lack of communication can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and even breakups. It's essential to voice out your feelings, expectations, and issues with your partner. Constructive conversations can help resolve conflicts and strengthen the bond between you two. Next, we address the issue of neglecting emotional needs. Emotional neglect can lead to feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction. It's important to check in with your partner regularly. Ask about their day, their feelings, and their struggles. Showing empathy and offering support can go a long way in making your partner feel loved and valued. A major stumbling block in many marriages is financial disagreements. Money matters can be tricky, but they don't have to be a source of contention. Being open about your financial situation, setting common goals, and making decisions together can help prevent disagreements. Remember, you're a team, and teamwork is the key to resolving financial issues. Finally, we talked about the importance of spending quality time together. In the hustle and bustle of life, couples often forget to carve out time for each other. This can lead to a feeling of disconnect and dissatisfaction. It's essential to prioritize your relationship. Spend time together doing things you both enjoy and create lasting memories. These common mistakes in marriages are not insurmountable. They are merely challenges that require understanding, patience, and a willingness to work together. Remember, every relationship has its ups and downs. It's how you handle these moments that define the strength of your marriage. In conclusion, it's important to set realistic expectations, communicate effectively, cater to emotional needs, resolve financial disagreements amicably, and spend quality time together. These practices can help you navigate the complexities of marriage and foster a relationship that is not just about cohabitation, but about companionship, understanding, and love. Remember, recognizing and addressing these common mistakes can pave the way for a healthier and happier marriage.